Welcome to the Rollins College Financial Aid video series, where we break down the most asked questions about affording a college education. The free application for federal student aid is a form that collects demographic and financial information about students and their families to determine a student's level of financial need. Colleges will use this information to then award you aid. There are a few reasons why you should file the FAFSA before heading to college. Access to your prospective school. Some schools may have their own institutional grants, and they may use your FAFSA information to consider you as a recipient. Also, if you file the FAFSA, the school you are applying to will generate a financial aid offer for you. Receiving a financial aid offer is beneficial, so you may see an estimate of your out-of-pocket costs for attending that school. This will help you start those conversations with financial aid administrators at your prospective college. Access to need-based aid. There is a misconception that the Department of Education only offers loans through the FAFSA. If your level of financial need is high according to the information you provide on the form and the federal formula for the expected family contribution, you can receive need-based grants and other self-help need-based programs, such as work study and subsidized loans, where the Department of Education pays for the interest while you remain in school. Federal loans offer better terms than private lenders. Even if you do not qualify for any need-based programs, the student loans that you will be offered through the FAFSA will have flexibilities and terms that are better than most private lenders. Some of these flexibilities include a low interest rate and repayment that doesn't start until after you've graduated from school. In the end, I hope you maximize your opportunity by filing your FAFSA. You never know what you are eligible for until you file. Filing this form ensures that the schools you are applying to will consider you for all avenues and types of financial aid because they will have all the information they need. Filing the FAFSA can be a smooth and positive experience if you are prepared with all the information and documents you will need in front of you before starting the process. Here are some must-have items. An FSA ID. The very first step as a first-time filer is to create your login information for the website of the Department of Education, studentaid.gov. This is called an FSA ID, and it will serve as your username and password to access the FAFSA every time you need to log in to make a correction or continue the application. This login information will be unique to you, and it will stay with you for all subsequent years you are in college. So be sure to remember it. Having an FSA ID will also give you the opportunity to access your account via the My Student Aid mobile app. You will need your Social Security card to create your FSA ID and fill out your FAFSA. Be careful to enter your name and Social Security number on the FAFSA exactly as they appear on your Social Security card. If you are a non-US citizen eligible for aid, you will need your alien registration number. The FAFSA will require that you enter your tax information from 2 years prior. So, for example, if you're enrolling in college this upcoming fall, you will be asked to submit tax documents from 2 years prior. The form will present you with the option to use the IRS data retrieval tool, which will import your IRS information directly onto the FAFSA. If this option does not work for you, you will need copies of the following: IRS Form 1040, W-2s and 1099s, and if you live in a U.S. territory or you're a U.S. citizen living abroad, your foreign tax return, as applicable. Other financial information. This includes records of any untaxed income, cash, savings and checking account balances, and investments other than the home in which you live. List of schools you are interested in. The FAFSA will give you the opportunity to enter up to 10 schools you are considering or applying to. Have this information ready so the schools you list may receive your FAFSA after you submit it. If you have changes, you can log back in and adjust your schools. You'll just need to ensure you resubmit so the new schools receive a copy of the record. If you're a dependent student, your parent or legal guardian will also need all of these items. They will need to set up an FSA ID, have their Social Security number available, and their tax return, as well as their untaxed income and asset information. Many families choose not to file the FAFSA when they believe their income may be too high to qualify for need-based programs. However, we want to encourage students to file the FAFSA for their first year of college, regardless of the family's income. Here are some reasons why. As part of their admission process or scholarship eligibility, some schools may require that you file the FAFSA. Filing the FAFSA will start a conversation with the financial aid office of the schools you list on the form. With the FAFSA on file, the financial aid administrators will be able to generate a financial aid offer for you. Often, this will lead to forging relationships with them and having conversations on the out-of-pocket cost you will incur if you attend that institution. Some schools can use this information to award any institutional grants they may have for incoming students. Without a FAFSA, you may not get the opportunity of being considered. If you are thinking about borrowing, the federal loans you will be offered through the FAFSA will have better terms for student borrowers than most private lenders. The bottom line is, you never know what you're eligible for until you file the FAFSA. Filing this form ensures that schools you are applying to will consider you for all types of financial aid because they will have all the information they need. The Department of Education works constantly on making the FAFSA easy to follow and to complete. In fact, they indicate most students can complete the FAFSA in less than 30 minutes. Whether it takes you 30 minutes or more, filing the FAFSA does not have to be a time-consuming task. Here's what you can do to facilitate the process. Make sure you have reliable access to the internet and the technology necessary. Ensure you and your parent have each created the login information known as FSA ID prior to starting the FAFSA. Prepare all the personal and financial information and documents needed before starting. Enlist the help of your parent, legal guardian, or high school counselor. As a dependent student, you will need parental information. A counselor who is familiar with the process can also help you understand terms you may not be familiar with. An important part of making this process as smooth as possible is being prepared and having the information that is needed ready and available. If you are unable to complete your FAFSA in one sitting, you can save your progress and resume the application later by logging in again with your FSA ID. If you have already submitted the FAFSA and noticed you have entered certain information incorrectly, don't worry. You're able to make corrections to the record. In addition, sometimes the financial aid office of the school you are applying to may contact you advising you to make corrections on the FAFSA. All you need to do is go back to the federal student aid website at studentaid.gov and log in with your student FSA ID. Once you are there, you can correct any of the questions. After correcting the information, ensure you click the Submit button so that new and corrected record is sent to the schools you have listed in the FAFSA. If you save the corrections but fail to submit it, your prospective schools will not receive the updated information. If you have filed the FAFSA, it is important that you try to limit the number of corrections you enter to only those that will rectify incorrect information or as advised by your prospective school. Keep in mind the schools you have listed will receive an updated record every time you resubmit the form. As they are using this information to generate your financial aid offer, receiving multiple FAFSA submissions can make this process difficult, which may result in you receiving multiple financial aid offers from the same institution and cause some confusion. We encourage you to discuss any questions you have on correcting your FAFSA with the financial aid office at your prospective school. This will keep the lines of communication open as they work on generating a financial aid offer for you. In many cases, they will also be able to enter any corrections on your behalf as well, which can simplify the process. Watch our other financial aid videos to get all of your college aid questions answered. And if you have any remaining questions, please reach out to our team at finaid@rollins.edu.